Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. How's everybody doing? Hey, Aiden. How's it going? Hard to believe this week is almost over. I feel like last week dragged, was so slow, and it was only a 3-day work week for me. And this week is flying by. I don't really know why, but I feel like when you have short work weeks, it's like that. Um, how's everybody's reading for the Amazing Readathon been going? Have you made it to all of the stops that you wanted to yet? Yeah. Happy Baby Friday, right? Hey, Sam. How's the readathon going for you both? What are you currently reading? What leg are you guys doing? My AQI? Okay, I don't. What does AQI stand for, Sam? I'm sure I should know this. Oh, air quality index? Is that what you're. Are we talking weather? I can check one sec. Let's see. Air quality. Okay. Yep. So it said we have an air quality advisory starting today at noon through tomorrow due to wildfires. Are you getting fires up by you, Sam? Yeah, ours wasn't bad yesterday, but it was bad, definitely bad today. Let me back up a little. Sorry, I'm going to turn this mic down because I feel like I'm peaking a little. Yeah, so anytime that Canada has like wildfires, we tend to get smoke, the air quality issues. So I think it was like, was it 2 summers ago that you guys had those fires that just went like on and on and on for a long time? I think my entire summer was just like smoggy from that. But we have an alert here in Michigan. So I'm like southern Michigan. Um, well, I guess I'm glad that I didn't go work out today. Yeah, we have a just a an alert. It doesn't even say what the percentage is. Okay. Yeah, we don't have like a number. It just says air quality alert. So I started training for a 5K on Tuesday, and today was supposed to be my second day of that. And I've been trying to do it outside because I'm doing a 5K in August, so I want my body to get used to that. But I saw that it was like 95% humidity this morning, and I have asthma, so I was like, nah, not going to do that today. But it looks like I made the right choice. So I did not go do that today. But if it's going to be an alert till tomorrow, I might have to skip another day just for my lung capacity or just do a walk instead of like a jog. But from a reading perspective, so I have finished the first and second legs. I did Oz and then I did Basgiath, so I turned both of those in. Yeah, yep. And then I'm working on well, I did the detour because we got our detour this afternoon. And then I am also working on one of the, my brain just like totally went burnt. So I did the detour. I did the detour, which was a survey to figure out what dragon I am. And I got Storm Rider. And then I did the roadblock too, so that's up on my Instagram if you guys saw that. And then I'm working on a sightseeing book. So I'm trying to do the prompt where you don't have the words a, and, or the in the title. So I'm listening to My Friends by Frederick Backman, which I talked about last night in the other stream that we were participating in. And it's good. It made me cry twice today. It's a really good story, but Frederick Backman's good at that. Let's see. My roadblock, it was called Marked by Battle, Aiden. So we had to post a photo of a book that left a mark on us. And I actually picked the uh, Kingdom of Ash book, which is the last one. Oh, yeah, Maple's over here. Which is the last one in Throne of Glass, because there is a scene in there that I absolutely bawled for, and it's a scene that I think about all the time. I also could have used All the Colors of the Dark by Chris Whitaker, which is a book that I read not quite this time, a little bit later than this time, probably late summer last year. And it was my number one read for 2024. And it still sticks with me today. And it's one of my top recommended books. So, you guys are on the other team where it's not like as competitive. Do you still get like roadblocks and stuff like that? Or are you kind of just only reading for the location prompts? Because I am curious. I am curious about that. Also, for Oz, so I was going to read a green book. I had it all planned out, but I was in the process of reading Let's Call Her Barbie for book club on Monday, which was so cute, by the way. Everybody wore pink. People brought their Barbies. We talked about like the whole history of Barbie. It was a really good book club. So I used one of those. Oh, okay. So Aiden says, yes, you can do roadblocks. Yours was The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. I have not read that book, but I do have it, and it's on my list. It's actually somewhere in this general region of my bookshelves because I have it alphabetized by author last name. Yeah, pink is the new green. So I used one of those like power up cards to submit Let's Call Her Barbie for Oz. And then I started because there was like one of the sightseeing prompts was to read a book that's a special edition. So I started reading. Oh, and I don't know if you can hear her, but she's shouting at me. I started reading Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree because this is like the special edition. But I literally got like a chapter in and then we finished that location. So I was like, well, I guess I'll just put this down. So I was going to try to use it for the another like sightseeing prompt, but it doesn't fit from what I can tell into any of the sightseeing prompts for this leg of the trip. So I'm going to have to just hold it for later. But I will say, like, even just the first chapter, I'm really interested in the book, and I've heard a lot of good things. And also, like how beautiful is that? I love a book that has beautiful art. Let's look at the back. So this is the back of it. So, but what are you all reading tonight? What's on the agenda for this sprint? And Maple's just gonna be everywhere. She's a little restless today. It's pretty, yeah. And the second one is really pretty too. I have both of them. Um, I don't know where it's at on my shelf. Again, alphabetically, it's over here somewhere. I don't know why I can't see it. It's up there somewhere. You were thinking about starting Legends and Lattes tonight? Okay. You're reading Everyone on This Train is a Suspect for the Sightseeing Prompt, and which is a book with a map. Well, so that was like something I was looking at too because oops, sorry, I just hit the mic. This one it does have a map, but I really wanted to well, first of all, I don't know if you guys saw Audible's having like a huge sale right now. So like I got some books for like $2.95 or $3 and a couple for like $8, which is super cheap. Um and so I saw that the new Frederick Backman, My Friends, was on the list. And I think I paid like $8.95 for it, which is really good for an audio, like a brand new audiobook. So I was like, I really want to listen to it, and they are doing a local book club for it. So if I end up reading it, maybe I'll go to that book club. because the book that we're supposed to read for fantasy this month, it's like thick. Let me grab it. And I just don't feel much like reading a biblical length book. I mean, it's like half the width of my head. But it's The Will of the Many by James, I think it's Islington or Islington. I'm not sure. But I've heard really good things about the book. It's just I'm not really wanting to sit and like, I don't know. So it depending on if it fits any other prompts, I might read it, but I might just not be doing fantasy book club this month. I am gonna read this book eventually. It's just I I have so many others that I kind of want to read more. So, but I do have to read. I have to read A Fate Inked in Blood because Curse Carved in Bone is, I think it just came out, and we're doing a, so I call it Sloppy Seconds, but it's But Wait There's More. So that's one of the two books that we're doing for that book club, and that's in mid-July. So I need to read the first one so I can read the second one, and then we're doing the second book of the Ren and the Holly Library, which comes out in 2 weeks. So let's see. Sam says either Legends and Lattes for green or Starlight for celestial. So you're just doing whatever order you want to do it in. Which, I mean, that's kind of what's supposed to happen. But are they giving you guys like prompts? Like, are you getting like travel stuff like we are? I'm assuming so. I also need to work on our book exchange, the blind date with the book exchange. I want to make sure that everybody who wants to do it is signed up. Because I think I put the draw date as next week or the week after. I don't remember. I have to look. I was going to say, Aiden, maybe if I get you, you can add this one to your list. If I don't end up reading it. Okay. So you get the same prompts and sightseeing prompts that I do, but your roadblocks maybe are a little bit different. I will say, so one of the things, and Danielle and I were texting about this earlier today, is, so one of the things that I liked about the Amazing Readathon last year that she's not doing this year is you were given like X amount of dollars at the beginning of the readathon where you could use it for travel. So if you flew to the next location, it was like you got 100% of your pages. Hello. Okay, Scorpio, my brain just went on your first name. And I remember I asked you about it too. I need to start writing these down. But so last year for the Amazing Readathon, you got like money at the front and then you would use that money towards flight, but that's all the money you had throughout the whole readathon. Unless you got like some bonuses from like roadblocks or something. And then you had to decide Camilla. Okay, that's what I was like, my brain was like, I think it's Camilla, but I don't remember. I will write that down so I don't get it wrong. But and then you would choose when you would go to your next location, you would either fly, which would cost X amount of dollars, you would drive, which would cost X amount of dollars, or you could walk, which didn't cost anything, but you only had so much money to spend. And if you flew to a location, you got, I think it was like double your pages, like so if you read 400 pages, it was 800 pages. If you drove, it was like 1 for 1. And then if you walked, it was half the pages. So then you would read, if you read a 400-page book, you would only get 200 pages for your credit. So it was kind of like this whole, like you had to manage your money the whole trip too, very much like the Amazing Readathon. And I mean, I'm probably in the minority here, but I really loved that piece of that. I liked that you had to keep track of how much money you were spending and how many pages and all of that stuff. But I also understand that that's not everybody's cup of tea. So I think she was trying to accommodate maybe some people that don't want to have to do math. But it was fun for me because it was like you're really like going on a trip, or like you were really on the Amazing Race, because, you know, they get X amount of dollars to go to places and sometimes they have to get cheaper things and that kind of stuff. So I really, you know, I really did, I do kind of miss that part of it. And if she asks like for feedback at the end of the month, I will probably give that feedback that I missed that aspect. But I also understand like I understand that that's not everybody's thing. So she's got to be able to accommodate everybody. Okay, Camilla says, I'm going to start The Drowning Woman by Robin Harding. Is that a new one? I feel like, let me pull that up on my phone. Hey, Elena. Okay, hold on. The Drowning Woman. Would help if I spelled the words right. It doesn't look like it's new. So it's not, it was in 23. So this is the cover in case anybody wants to look it up. So it looks like it's a thriller. Okay. Oh, you know what? I wanted to talk about this one. So I just read The Butcher and the Wren for a book with a violent title or a violent activity in the title for the readathon, and it's by Elena Urquhart, who is one of the hosts of the Morbid podcast. And I had read the Ashley Flowers book that came out last year or 2 years ago for Crime Junkie, and I didn't enjoy it, but I flew through The Butcher and the Wren to the point that like I want to read the second one like now because it's a continuation of the first story. So if you like mystery thriller or you like serial killer related thriller, I would definitely recommend it. She does a really good job writing it, and it is a dual POV. So you get it from the perspective of the killer and then the perspective of the mortician or she's technically not a mortician, but she works in the morgue and does autopsies. I can't remember the right word for that. So I would definitely recommend that. And it's a pretty quick read. It's a smaller book, but it's written very well. So I use that for a book with a violent word in the title. So, okay. All right. So it looks like Sam is starting a new book. She's going to do one for a book with green in the cover. Camilla's reading The Drowning Woman. Okay, Camilla's asking if the book is very graphic. I wouldn't say it's like super graphic. She does talk a little bit about autopsies and like kind of what that process is like, but that's what she does for a living. So she's very medically accurate in her descriptions of what she's doing. Um, but the killer does do some things that are disturbing. So if you don't like that kind of stuff, I would maybe kind of read like some trigger warnings on it because it could potentially be triggering. For me personally, it didn't bother me, but I also don't get bothered much by that kind of stuff. So, just a thought. Okay, so we are at 8:18. I'm going to go ahead and get us started on our first sprint. I'm going to leave the rain on. If you guys want to mute me, if you don't like the noise, that's totally fine. Thank you again for joining tonight, and we will go ahead. Let me get this going and do 45 minutes, and then I'll come back, and hopefully we'll be able to talk some about books. Okay, how did everybody's sprint go? Hey, Allison, thanks for joining. It looks like we have maybe a couple new people that joined in. I am listening to my book while I'm crocheting, and I made it about 3 more chapters. For those that joined during that sprint, I am listening to My Friends by Frederick Backman. It's a really good book. And then I'm just working on like a really giant granny square for those that are interested in crafting. I have this yarn, which is just all over the place, but it's like a rainbow yarn. So I'm just going to make a giant granny square with it and just see what happens. But I am noticing that there is some dye lot inconsistencies in the colors. So technically I'm on like purple right now. But it's going to go like blue to purple. And if you look in the dead center, you can see there's a little blue spot, but it's just for fun. Allison, I think you shared. Okay, you're reading Voice of the Ocean, Little Mermaid Fantasy Vibes. Who's that by? Also, Allison, how is the Amazing Readathon going for you? Are you enjoying it? And I think we've had more people join. If you want to chime in and say hello, I would love to meet you or hear what you're reading. Oh. Kelsey, oh. Impachache? Impachi, Impachiche? Okay. Well, I don't know, but that's my guess. Okay, Camilla says, hey, Elena and Allison, I was making a granny square as well. You're making a blanket. Or what type of granny square are you making? Like any particular pattern or just a traditional double crochet cluster one? My original thought, because I found this pattern for like a really cute peplum top that can be converted to a dress, was that I would use that yarn, but for the top, um, they change colors like every 2 or 3 rows, and I wasn't sure how this would stripe up, and it's striping like this wouldn't be really color differentiated, so I was like, I'll just keep going and see how big the granny square gets. Allison is enjoying the readathon. Definitely glad you're on Pathfinders though to take it slow. Yeah, I totally get that. I know a lot of people were worried about like how quickly it moves. So Aiden is halfway through the book, hoping to finish before the next leg starts. Okay. And are you reading a? Are you reading a leg book? Or are you reading a like just like a book for extra points? I think you said it's for extra points because you're meeting one of the prompts. You're making 365 cluster squares. Okay. Are you doing like a temperature blanket then? Because that sounds really cool. I have another project that I'm working on today too. Okay, you're reading. Aiden is reading the sightseeing prompts. I thought that's what you said. You were doing one with a map in it, if I remember correctly. You guys can't see her, but I do have my cat is sleeping right down over here. I brought in another chair for her so she could just sit next to me, and she's just been lazing on the chair. Allison says, I did granny squares for each book I read last year. I'm still working on putting them all together. Don't feel bad, Allison. I did a temperature blanket in 2023 and I still have not finished. I knitted that. I still have not finished binding in the ends. It's been 18 months basically. So you got plenty of time. I have that. So when I picked the pattern for the blanket, I altered it a little bit to make it bigger because it was a baby size blanket, but I way overestimated how big I should go with it, and so the blanket is just huge. Um, Aiden has a question. Okay, so question about the readathon for anyone who's participated before. What is the face-off weekend I've been hearing about? So it's been a year, but what I remember about the face-off weekend is basically um, you read as much as you can that weekend, and the team that submits the most books gets like extra points. So I didn't get to participate in it last year. I don't remember why. Like, I think I was gone or something like that. But I also joined the readathon like a week before it started. Whereas this year, I've planned, it is Father's Day weekend. So I did, for those in the US, so I did, like, I have planned Saturday and I have planned Sunday, but I'm thinking about taking a half day off work and potentially doing a stream from like noon till like 8 or 9 p.m. and just doing a really long stream. Camilla says, saw the idea on YouTube, but I am incorporating squares based on each book I read. Yeah. I don't remember there being prompts for the face-off weekend. I think it's just whatever leg we're on. And at that point, let's see, that's going to be around the 15th. So it's going to be like leg 5, I think, roughly. Because she'll post them every 3 to 4 days. Let's see here. Okay, Camilla says, my favorite square I made so far was inspired by Shatter Me. So that's like, is that the blue and white one? Or is it purple? Because I know there's a blue one, a green one, and it's purple, right? I think it's purple. And yes, Allison, definitely share pictures of it. I was going to do a book quilt or book blanket this year, and then I read like 10 books before I even really realized it was 10 books and didn't start them. So I don't think it's going to happen this year. And honestly, I've made like 4 baby blankets already this year, I think. I made like a pink and white one, just for fun. In fact, it's in the other room, but let me go grab it because I think you guys will appreciate it. So just give me 1 sec. Okay. Oh, you incorporated shades of blue and made an eye applique. That's really cool. Can you share a picture of that? I'd love to see it. Let me go grab that blanket though, so you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about. Okay, sorry. So this pattern, you actually knit triangles, or not knit, you crochet triangles, and then you like add those triangles together. I haven't finished binding in the ends of this one yet, but this is kind of what it looks like. And so the yarn itself it's very similar to this one, where it's self-striping, but it's a smaller cake of yarn, more like this big. So it takes about 1.5 cakes of yarn. But I really loved this striping, or like I loved the pink and the orange colors. And I don't know anybody that's having a girl this year, but I really wanted to make something. So this was the one I made. And then the other blanket that I'm working on is for a friend, but it's the same pattern. And I have 3.5 of the triangles done. So, yeah, and the cool thing too, I don't know if you can see it very well, but it's like a little scalloped edge. And then you just, you can see kind of here. Oh, This is the back of it. Hold on. Is it? Yeah. So you can kind of see more here where I like combine them together. So it creates like a square. It's from her name is like TL Yarn Crafts. It's a free pattern on her website, but I saw it and I'm only been crocheting for like a year and a half, and it was something that was different but not a lot different from what I had been doing. So it was nice to try something and challenge myself because I struggle with binding things together. Like it's something that I can't quite comprehend for some reason. So yeah, I've got this it actually is a good size lap blanket, but it is meant to be a baby blanket. So someday when someone has a baby girl, I'll do it. I also thought about making it like huge because this is like my camera's inverted. So like it's not super huge. But I thought about just making it bigger because this is 26 stripes. So, well, 26 rows, 13 stripes. So I thought about just continuing on, but I don't know how much yarn I would need for that. So, but it's Lion Brand Mandala yarn. So, and of course it's Lion Brand Mandala yarn, and then it's Big Twist, which was a Joanne Fabrics yarn. So for the inside, this is like just basically a half of a granny square. So this is double crochet clusters of 3. And then when you get to the edge piece, so like for example, this here, so it's a cluster of 3, and then you actually make a 4th one so that your next row you pull, I'm going to put it closer. The next row you pull your new cluster in to make it larger. And then the kind of like little bit like bubble stitch on the side is, I think it's just a single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, double crochet. So it's just single and doubles. It's just you're doing it in a different order. You actually start here like in the small part, and you get larger as you go. So, but I'll on this next print I'll find the pattern and post it in the post a link in the chat for everybody. So it's really simple. If you know how to crochet, you can do like a triple crochet, double crochet, single crochet. You can definitely follow it. So I just gotta find someone that's having a little girl so I can give this away. So. But outside of that, how was everybody's sprint? I know a couple people got a couple chapters done. I got about 3 chapters done. I'm really enjoying this book. Frederick, man, I'm tired, guys. Frederick Backman does a good job when he's writing of using descriptors of things. Like he'll say, like there was one he said just to describe like a teenage girl. It was just like, it made me laugh. I need to start like highlighting things, but it's just so funny. And it's descriptors that you maybe wouldn't normally use, but actually make like total sense. Also, while I'm thinking about it, I do have a video going live tomorrow. It should be going live at noon Eastern time. The video is just a recap of what I read in May, and I completed a total of 10 books. So it's just going to be like I think it's like 16 minutes. It's not super long. Video just about everything that I read last month. So if you have time and want to watch it. So, hi. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much for joining. They say, remember to hydrate, feed thyself, check your laundry, take your meds, stretch, and show some love to the like button. Also, make sure you sub and ring that bell so you, hopefully, get notified. Thank you for the advertisement. I really appreciate that. Obviously, I'm still new and I think I'm up to like 43 subscribers, which I'm super excited about. But I really just appreciate the support. I'm glad you could be here tonight. Let me go ahead and pause that timer. What are you reading, Kay? Or if you're not reading, what are you planning to use the productivity sprints for? 49. Oh, see, I didn't even know that. Last I checked, it was 43. I recorded my video. I think I recorded it on Sunday. So my hair actually looks nice tonight. Well, I did like my natural curls, and then it's been slowly like just falling apart over the last couple of days because it's so humid. Oh my gosh, 49. I can't believe that. I'm so excited. I've also been like figuring out the whole setup. So one of the things I told my husband that I want to do is I want to get like a desk that I can stand up at, because I don't like to sit full time. So, but I am reading. Oh, okay. Let's see. K, do you want to go by K, or is there another name you prefer? And do you prefer she, he, they, them? I want to make sure I use everybody's proper pronouns. But Kate is reading Experimental Magic by Iris Beaglehole. It's book 2 in the series. What genre does that fall into? It almost sounds like maybe fantasy. Experimental Magic. Where's my phone? It apparently fell. Hold on. Okay. You love your standing to Christina. Okay, cool. Let me write that down. I'm getting consistent enough people that I need to remember names. I feel like, Kay, I've seen you. Were you on Dusty Book Sniffers? Have you done any of their videos? Allison, what standing desk do you have? Magical realism, witchy vibes, but sure, fantasy. Okay. Fantasy tends to just encompass a lot of stuff, but fantastical realism, magical realism, that would make sense. I want to look it up. Experimental Magic. If I can show everybody. Oh, I've seen this book. Did it get like a new cover recently? There you go. For anybody that wants to look it up. There's also an alternate cover art that looks like this, if anybody wants to look for it. Okay. You're not on any videos, but mentioned in quite a few. I'm like, I know I've seen your name before. So I'm assuming you're doing the Amazing Readathon then? What team are you on? And Camilla, are you doing the Amazing Readathon? Are you on any teams? I'm just writing your names down too while you guys. No, you're doing boot camp and Camp Nightmare. Okay. I think I saw that one. There's another one that I think she does it in August. But it's like Camp Spooky or something, and she has the cutest like stickers and stuff. I haven't looked at it yet because I did Escape the Readathon last month, and I'm doing the Amazing Readathon this month, and I feel like 3 months in a row is a lot. I don't know how people do readathons every month. It's crazy. So is Boot Camp and Camp Nightmare, are those team ones or are they just individual? And who's hosting those? You're okay. You're doing, Camilla's also doing Camp Nightmare. Oh, thank you, Allison. I got your text. Thank you so much. I'm trying to figure this all out. Stay Spooky-a-thon is in October. I don't think it's that one. I'd have to find it. So I will share. I'll look that up on the next break. Bingo boards. Okay. There's another readathon. Aiden, there's readathons every month. I will add you to the Discord that I'm in that shows the readathons that are every month. So It's crazy. I also like really want to find, and I don't know, maybe you guys know this, those that have done more, if there's any readathons around Christmas, like our Christmas themed one or holiday themed one. Because I tend to have, I'm very busy in December, but I tend to have more downtime. Okay, Dana. Oh, that's Dana. Okay. Actually, speaking of Dana, she asked me to participate in a book club with her. We're doing the her thriller one, and I believe we're doing that in July. So I'm pretty excited about that. She sent me a message. It's been just about over a week ago. So we're talking about that. I didn't realize that she was hosting one. I'm still like new to all the only one that I really knew the most about was the Amazing Readathon, and then I've joined a couple like groups on Goodreads where they do them, but there's so many, Aiden. It's a lot of fun. And a lot of them, so the one thing I will say about a lot of them is it's not competitive like the Amazing Readathon or Escape the Readathon, but okay. I think I have access to the sprinting spreadsheet because my friend sent it to me. She's usually on here under Silent Book Club Riverview because she hosts a chapter for Silent Book Club. Oh, speaking of Silent Book Club, if you haven't joined already, Allison does host a virtual Silent Book Club. We meet every other Friday. There's a link in my bio if you'd like to join. There's actually a meeting tomorrow. Yeah, so I'm doing Thrills and Chills with Dana. So she asked me what book I was interested and then what months I could do. So I'm going to be part of her Q3, which I'm like so honored and so thankful that she, thought to ask me because I'm just a little baby YouTuber. So, so, and I actually was going to pick her brain about that because I want to do something similar to that, but I don't want to copy her because I know she puts a lot of work into it. So I have a few ideas floating in my brain that I want to pick someone's, brain about creating a quarterly book club type thing as well. But I would like to do it with my viewers. So if anybody's interested. So, but okay, we've gone over our break time. Stay Spooky-a-thon is also Thrills and Chills. Okay. And yes, Aiden says the virtual silent book club with Allison is fantastic and so fun. Yes, there's a great group of women that join, and it's fun. It's only an hour long, but it's a lot of fun, and you'll see a lot of the same people. I don't know Allison tomorrow. I'm planning to come, but I also for those that like drama TV, I am going to be watching the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives season 2 with some of my friends tomorrow. So I don't know what time we're going to be done. They tend to run late. So we'll see. I might just join and be quiet, which is impossible, but I'll try. So, but okay, let's go ahead and get our second sprint going. For those that have never joined before, I do 45 and 15 because I do not have the capability to sit more than 45 minutes reading. Even if the book is really good, make sure if you have not during this break, get up, drink your water, do what you need to do to stretch your body, respect your mind, respect your body, and I will see you in 45 minutes. Okay. How did that sprint go for everybody? It feels like it went by so fast. Excuse me, I just drank a bunch of water. Speaking of which, if you haven't, drink your water, stretch your body. I'm checking to see how much I listened to. So I think I only listened to 2 chapters that time. I was scrolling on social media a little bit, but that's fine. Sometimes you just gotta scroll. How's everybody's reading going? Also, I made it to the next color, but they're really not that different. So I'm not really... Well, I guess you can kind of see it. More noticeable down there. Sam got a few chapters in while hanging out on the deck with the Finches and Greckles, but you don't talk about them. What did you end up picking to read, Sam? Because I know you were debating between 2 books. Did you go with Legends and Lattes, or did you go with something else? And I think we have a couple other people, so how'd that go for everybody? Okay, Sam said Starlight, have had it sitting around for 8+ years. Probably a good book to read then. You could have saved that for like the longest on your TBR. I'm sure there's going to be a prompt like that. And grackle, I'm pretty sure grackles are a type of bird. Correct me if I'm wrong, Sam. I'm looking up a crackle. Oh, I've got some here too. And they look like that. I gotta get this camera thing learned. There we go. We have a couple in Michigan. They're kind of loud, aren't they, Sam? Like I always associate jerk birds with blue jays. I feel like blue jays are more rude to other birds than anybody else. Aiden says she has 85 pages left, determined to finish before you crash tonight. I mean, I hope you do. Okay, Christina said I chatted a wee bit and got to chapter 12. That's good. Yeah, pretty blue. I mean, I have where I'm located, I have a lot of cardinals, believe it or not. We have I think 2 or 3 pairs. I also get some wrens, little house wrens, which are they're smaller, and finches are my most common ones. I've seen blue jays very few and far in between. And then I don't have a lot of squirrels, surprisingly, where I'm at. I think because I back up to a main highway. I pointed to my window. I back up to a main highway. That's why I don't have a lot of squirrels. But we do have a lot of chipmunks, which I don't mind because chipmunks, unlike mice, don't try to get into the house. Aiden says, I like starlings. This sounds like blue jays here, though. They're big bullies in the bird world. Yeah. Sam has magpies, which are the worst. Grackles are very loud, but not as loud as baby blue jays. Yeah. Sam, you've never seen a cardinal? They're so pretty. The females and the males are both beautiful. Obviously, the males are more beautiful. I wonder why. Wonder why they don't go that north. I'll have to send you a picture too, because I mean, I know for sure I have at least 1 pair, maybe 2, that come in if I remember to refill my feeder, which it's full right now. But there's times I'll refill my feeder and they'll eat through it in like 2 days, and then there's other times it will last like a week. So I have to keep an eye on it. I will say for this book called the Frederick Backman book, it's kind of sad. It's all about this artist who dies and he meets this young woman. I mean, she's 18 right before he passes and he leaves a lot of money to her. Um, and then she kind of gets not stuck, but like with one of his best friends, and they're both kind of awkward. So it's like a lot of the I don't know. But I remember the last sprint I was saying like how Frederick does a good job of like using descriptors for books. So like one of the scenes they're talking about how the one character keeps sighing a lot, and every time he does like a big sigh, he describes it a little bit differently. Like one time it was like he blew out the breath so harshly, it's amazing the chair in front of him didn't blow over type thing, or like talking about like how he's breathing out so hard the entire window fogged up. So it's like funny and it's really descriptive, which I really enjoy. So, and it's creative. It's not just like a normal like, oh, he took a deep breath and like blew it out. It's very funny. Aiden says, I have hawks nearby every now and then. They come too close to the trees where the murder of crows hangs out. The crows freak out. We do get hawks here too. I haven't had any. Again, I back up to a pretty busy highway, so I don't get them as much, but I do know we get them like further back in the sub that I'm in. And we get coyotes and foxes and possums and raccoons too. Yeah, Frederick Backman is great. Uh, but yeah, it's funny because I keep looking at my crochet and the color change is so like tiny. Do you see the difference between right there and right there? I'm like, oh my gosh. I might end up taking this apart, but I'm just, just playing with it. I also like to keep my hands busy because I'm listening to the book because I don't have a physical copy of it, and I tried to get a ebook from the library, and per usual there's a really long wait. So, but I am trying to think, if I finish this book tonight, do I want to try and start another book before that? Square is a 2020 eye test. Yeah, it's a color blindness test, really, because it's so minuscule of a change. I mean, when I get further in and I move to like yellow, it will be really obvious, but so. And I don't think this one will be able to be a baby blanket for anybody because the holes are pretty large in it. But I've had this ball of, or this, I guess it's technically a cake of yarn, but I've had this cake of yarn for like 3 or 4 years. So I was like, I'm just gonna start making a granny square and see what happens. I should really look up patterns like that are made with it, but I think a lot of them it requires like 2 to 3 skeins of that, and I just have the one. Yeah, it's definitely lavender and violet. And I was like looking at this too, Aiden, because it's supposed to be rainbow, but I don't see a whole lot of green. I think this feels inappropriate. I think there might be some after here, but I'm not gonna put my fingers in there. If there is green, it's like not a lot of it. Here, I'm gonna pull it out so it doesn't look like I'm sticking my fingers in there. But like right there is green. But it's definitely more like yellow and blue focused. I love to crochet. It's funny, so I'm left-handed, so it took me a long time to learn how to crochet. I had several people try to teach me and I just couldn't get the tension right. And I feel like if you know how to knit, it's hard to learn crochet. And if you know how to crochet, it's hard to learn knit. So I think that's part of the issue. Yeah, it's a very light green. It's almost like a mint color. And honestly, I had to dig really far to find that. So I'm like, there's probably not a lot of green in here. But so I had a couple of people teach me, which I talked about last time. And then finally last year, I just watched a YouTube video and that helped me, Sam. I'm a visual learner though, so that's part of it. I could make my cat's blankets. I could. That's actually not a bad idea. Maybe I'll just make, cat-sized granny squares with this yarn, and then I could donate it to a local rescue too if I end up making a bunch of them. That's a good idea. I also have like some fleece fabric that I want to use up. It's actually cat themed. I had planned to make like hammocks with them for the cats at the rescue that I work with, but the pandemic kind of got in the way, and now I just have like 2 yards of cat themed fabric. Cat law, you could make yourself blankets that they commandeer. Yeah. Hi, how are you? Thank you for stopping in. How did your stream go? Sam, you're learning to cross stitch, which is the extent of your craftiness. Cross stitch isn't easy. It's a difficult hobby to do. What are you reading tonight, by the way? I am reading My Friends by Frederick Backman. It's very good. I'm using it for the Amazing Readathon as a sightseeing prompt. And it's worth 150 points, so hopefully I get it done before she announces the next leg of the race. Oh, you're still live right now. You just popped in to say hello? Are you on a break, Nicole? So when I did the sprints last year... Oh, okay. So when I did the sprints last year, it was approximately not sprints. When I did the readathon last year, it was approximately every 3 days. But it was like one of them, it was like, yeah, someday tomorrow. But then there was like you sprint for 6 hours on Friday. So it's Friday. Is it like midday for you then, Nicole? Because you're down in for me, you're down in Australia. Australia or New Zealand, if I remember correctly. Whereas I'm in the US, Eastern Standard Time. Serious. And so Nicole so they were talking about the book camp reading. Nicole is hosting that one. So if anybody's looking for another readathon, definitely check out Nicole's stuff. She does sprints with Coda, and I love going to their videos. So definitely check them out. 12:30 p.m. in Australia. Okay. I actually, this is an interesting fact, and I mean, obviously you probably don't know who this is, but I do watch 2 Twitch streamers that live in New Zealand and Australia. So I'm always like, it's about 12 hours. It kind of just depends on when our fallback or spring forward is and when yours is, if I'm correct. Because I know that in New Zealand, I think they're only 10 right now, maybe 11 ahead of us. So, but what are you reading, Nicole? Anything good? Oh yeah, definitely. I've been like, I used to join Nicole's on my other account, which was Lady Oak. So you'll probably remember me there. But I only pop in and out when I can. But I decided to start streaming probably about 6 weeks ago. You were one of the people that inspired me. So definitely, if you have not checked out Nicole's stuff or Coda stuff, you should definitely check their stuff out because they were a big inspiration for me. So Australia is definitely on my bucket list. I really want to go and see the Opera House, the Sydney Opera House. And I know you can't go see the Great Barrier Reef. I know you can't like go into it, but I would love to just like fly over it in a helicopter or something. You're in Queensland. Okay. See, and that's one thing I didn't know. I didn't know that time changes weren't consistent for you guys. Whereas like the United States, we always change. I mean, which in Michigan, I'm glad because I'm so far east. If we don't have a time change in Michigan, it gets dark at 4 p.m. So In the wintertime, let me pause it. Hold on. So like in the summertime, it gets dark later here. So we're going into our summer, so it gets dark probably like 9:30 right now. At the peak of summer, it will get like dark at like 10 p.m. But in the wintertime, if we don't fall back, it gets dark at like 5 p.m. Oh, you can dive parts of the barrier reef. Okay, I didn't know because I remember like reading something about the barrier reef and it having like they were looking to restore pieces of it because it had some damage or it wasn't growing properly. So obviously, I would prefer to just admire the nature than cause harm. But yeah, silent. So what they're talking about is we are all part of a virtual silent book club. It is hosted every other Friday in the United States Eastern Standard Time at 8 p.m. by our friend Allison. And there's a link in my bio if you'd like to join. Anybody's open to join, and we just read whatever we want to read. So it's kind of like a mini book sprint. So if anybody's interested or wants to join, you definitely should check it out. So, okay. And the effort to not keep us up, well, for those that are in the US, super late. Aw. Thank you so much. Yeah, Christina popped in. And I really appreciate it. She came in and said the sweetest thing. So I'm glad that Christina's around. I had recognized their names. So, and there was another person too from your stream that had popped in last time that I was like, I know you from that stream. So pretty small world. So I do it a little different. I know you do 90-minute sprints. I only do 45. I can't sit still long enough for that. So I do 45 and 15. We are about to start our last sprint. So I'm going to do 45 minutes and then we'll just chit chat a little bit at the end to talk about how everybody did throughout the whole sprint. I do sprint every Thursday evening, my time, and 8 p.m. my time, and we do 3 rounds. And then I am planning to do an extra one, maybe 2 next weekend because it's part of like a big event for the readathon I'm doing. Obviously, I'm not a host at the readathon, so I'm just going to be doing my own sprints. And there's other hosts that definitely you should check out, but I will be doing that next weekend. So I'm going to go ahead and start our next round. Thank you for those that popped on over. I really appreciate you taking the time to be here. And don't forget to stretch your body, drink your water, take care of your mind, take care of your body. And I'll talk to you in 45 minutes. Thanks. How did everybody's sprint go? Elena is here reading Midnight Pact by Jasmine Huliasha. What is that about? I am on, let's see, what chapter am I on? 22. So when we started tonight, I was on chapter 15. So I made it 7 chapters, which is pretty good considering I spent one of the sprints just messing around on my phone. I'm hoping to finish the book tomorrow. And I'm really hoping to finish it before she announces the next leg of the race. How about you guys? What all did you get done? Sam is up to chapter 10. Got distracted looking for unhinged sofas. Is there a reason for why are you looking for unhinged sofas? Aiden finished the book. That's good. I'm glad. I know. I'm like, is this motorcycle smut? Dino smut? What we got going on tonight, Sam? I will say, interestingly enough, so for this book, they have been on a train basically since chapter 15. And it's kind of an interesting setting. Oh, she's looking to. Okay. Oh, not she. They are looking to switch out the Nicolas Cage couch. So when we do our virtual silent book club or random sprints, we use an app called Cosme, and you can pick a couch so it looks like we're all sitting on a couch. And the latest selection was a Nicolas Cage. So, which I thought was, I noticed it. Sam, you weren't there the day that I joined, but Aiden was using it. And it took me, Aiden, like 40 minutes to notice that it was Nicolas Cage's couch. It was pretty funny. Anybody else want to share what they read or what they did? If you didn't read, that's fine. There's an inferior replacement at the moment. Yeah, it took me a long time. I don't even know why. Like, you would think I would have caught that right away, but I did not catch that right away. And then it was like, wait a second. There's Nicolas Cage. Why is he on the couch? My hair is also like slowly coming out of the hair tie. I hate when hair ties get to that point where they're so stretched out that you can't, that they don't do anything. I have like really thick hair, so that's part of the issue. Sam, Aiden says we need an aquarium. It's so horrifying. My eyes were trying to protect me. Yeah, it's probably what it is. Usually I can spot Nicolas Cage, though. I really want to do that prank where you replace all the pictures in your parents' house with like pictures of Nicolas Cage or like someone random. I think that would be so funny. And I don't think my mom would. I don't think. Well, she might. My mom's home a lot more. She just retired last week, but I don't know that she would notice it right away, especially if we just photoshopped his face onto our faces. But it would be hard to do. It would be funny though. No, I have to think about that. Because I'll be there next weekend. It's brilliant and horrible. It's the funniest prank. It's like harmless too. You're not like really hurting anybody. But my parents don't have like a gallery wall or anything. They have more like framed art, kind of like on the walls, and then they have a few like frames, so I could easily tape his head to a frame. I'm trying to think of like another character that would be funny for my parents, but I might have to do that. If I do that, I will be sure to share. this last sprint, I will say the rain, because I can hear the rain background too. I was sitting here and I was like, kind of towards the end. I'm tired today. William Dafoe, that would be really funny. I was also thinking like maybe like an Elon Musk moment would be kind of funny for my parents too. Put Elon Belan on everything. But I don't know. We'll see. If I end up doing it, I'll definitely share that here because it's so funny. I think that my mom would probably laugh after she got over the initial shock of it. Yeah. I also, so it's, last night I got in bed at a semi decent time, but I ended up like playing a game too soon. I know. I ended up playing a game on my phone. I've been playing like that where you have like the screws they have to unscrew to get to the other screws. It's really a simple game. But I've been playing it before I go to bed at night instead of doom scrolling on TikTok, and I got really into it. So I was up till like 12:30, 1 o'clock playing. So I'm a little tired today, but I like playing games or something more. And if anybody plays Monopoly Go, let me know. I play that and I love that game. So always looking for people to trade stickers with. So I mentioned this earlier for anybody that wasn't here. I do have a video going live tomorrow. It's just a recap of everything I read in May, which was 10 books. I read or fished them, yep. Read or finished 10 books in the month of May. So some of the books I started prior to the month of May, but I finally finished them to get some off my list because if you follow me on Goodreads, you know that I'm always reading probably 5 or 6 books and have been for years. So I got some of my like longer standing books off of my reading list on Goodreads. So I kind of go through each book, kind of what I thought, my general feedback, talk about my rating system, all that. So if you, oh, you're in Michigan? That's so funny, Krista. I wonder if we're like, I'm trying to think how I can say this without totally outing myself here. Be very, very, I'll just be vague. I'm about 45 minutes north of Detroit. Up one of the main freeways north. Let's see. Christina says, missed the last chatty bit, but got to chapter 16 and got your son in bed. That's good. Sam is addicted to Cattails Wildwood. It's a problem, not a mobile game, though, thankfully. Okay, an hour from the bridge. South or north? Still a troll. Got it. Okay. So you're probably like 3 hours from me then. I have been in Michigan since 1993. My mom and my dad were from St. Clair Shores, and then they moved out of state. And then, unfortunately, when they got divorced, my mom and I came back. The divorce was the unfortunate part, but coming back to Michigan was not. I love Michigan. So, my cat just scared himself. That's what I was looking at. There's a gift bag on the floor, and he touched it with his tail, and apparently it's very terrifying. But that is the most orange cat behavior. So, I don't think, by the way, Aiden, I don't think I've played Fishdom. Is it a matching game? Oh, you were born in the thumb. Okay. I like the thumb. I was just out there, well, not fully in the thumb, but I was at Lexington not too long ago. So, there's like no cell phone service out there, which is nice sometimes, but Cattails Wildwood. Okay. So one of the games that oh, okay, so it's an aquarium one. So I just downloaded one where you do like merging, but then you get coins to like remodel houses. So it's kind of like, I don't know, you play the game and you get an advertisement for another game. So, hello, paperbacks and ponytails. We're actually getting ready to wrap up right now. It's almost 11:30 p.m. my time, and I do have to work tomorrow. So this will be my last little chat for the night. But I do sprint every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time till about 11:30. And apparently your name is Katie, so thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I'm going to write that down. I've been writing down the names as we kind of chat, but do you want to share? I know we're wrapping up, but do you want to share what you're reading tonight, Katie? Yeah, that's your time too, but you're a night owl. So I, if I didn't have work at 8 a.m. tomorrow, I would stay up later. But because I do have work at 8 a.m., I can't. So, and yes, cats are funny, especially orange ones. They have no brain cells. I am curious though what you're reading, Katie. I'm always looking for new books. I write down names too when I don't know them during my sprints. Yeah, so I'm new to this. I'm creating like a little note on my phone so that I can remember that and pull it up. Some of the other people in the chat, like Aiden and Sam, are people that I know personally, so it's a little easier for me to know who they are. But and actually, I gotta alphabetize this, so you're gonna go here, and I will give you a follow. I don't know, did I follow you yet? You're listening to the audiobook of Before the King by Heather Kaufman. Oh, I don't think I know that one. Let me get your name down and then I'll pull it up and show everybody. Let's see. Also, since you're new, I do a little bit shorter sprints. I do 45 minutes and 15 breaks because I can't sit still more than 45 minutes before I start zoning out. And I have found that 45 and 15 works best for me. So Nicole is sprinting and will be sprinting until about midnight our time. So about for another half hour. So if you want to pop over to Dusty Book Sniffers, you can do that. She'll be over there. Before the King. Let me look this up. Joanna's story. So here's the cover of that in case anybody wants to check it out. It's a really pretty cover. Used to do 20, then it went to 30, and now you do 1 hour. So I could, I know if I was doing like a 5 or 6 hour sprint, I could see doing hour-long sprints, but because I'm only doing like 3 hours, I think this is a good balance where, it allows people to get up and move around every hour too. So that's something that I'm trying to keep in mind is, you really shouldn't be sitting for hours on end as well. There's a lot of stuff coming out about that too. So, and I'm not a young spring chicken anymore. Mid to late 30s. So try to get up and move a little bit more. And, when I just started training for a 5K, so my muscles are tight. So I really can't sit for very long. Even I have a pretty comfy chair, but it doesn't matter. So, if you haven't heard of it yet, I am reading My Friends by Fredrik Backman. It's very cute. I'm really enjoying it. And Fredrik, as always, is a very fantastic writer. I definitely recommend checking it out. It's more than likely going to be a 5-star for me, but I haven't finished it. So once I finish it, I'm really loving it. So, but trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, I do have a video coming out tomorrow at noon Eastern Standard Time. I think I already said that because I'm tired. And then I am sprinting for sure next Thursday night. And the readathon that I'm participating in is doing a face-off weekend next weekend. So I'm planning on Friday as of right now to do a much longer sprint. I'm thinking like 6 to 8 hours. So I'll probably for that one do longer in between. So I'll end up doing like a hour, reading time, maybe even longer depending on what else I have going on. So we'll see, but I am planning to do that Friday. And then I'm trying to figure out our schedule for Father's Day weekend because we also are going to try to celebrate my mother-in-law's birthday too. So I'm not really sure when, but I am planning to do some sort of sprinting and also working to not conflict with, I just dropped a bottle of water. conflict with some of the hosts for the readathon. So I'm trying to be careful to respect that, this is, I don't want to take away from them. So, but we are officially at time, and I think my husband already went to bed, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up tonight. I try to always remind you guys, drink your water, walk around. Please take care of your mind and your body, and I will see you guys in the next sprints next Thursday. And if you need anything, feel free to, send me a message. I'm always happy to chat. And then for you, Katie, if you go to my profile, we have a virtual silent book club meeting tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. There's a link for the book clubs. Definitely check that out as well. It's a great group of people, and we meet every other Friday. It's hosted by my friend Allison. So be sure to check it out. But thank you, everybody, for joining. I really appreciate you being here and taking the time to interact with me. It means a lot to me. So just know that I really appreciate it, and we will talk next week. And hopefully, or a few sprints. Well, for those that are doing the Amazing Readathon, hopefully we are able to get to all of our locations. But that being said, good night, and thank you so much. Bye.